When I realized that the reason that I was settling for low quality experiences and people in my life is because I didn't truly love myself enough to demand more, that's when I realized how important this self-love journey really is. Self-love isn't just some trendy topic, it's literally everything. It dictates everything in your life. It dictates the relationships that you have with others. It dictates what you settle for or what you hold high standards for. And in today's video, I want to share with you my self-love journey and how I went from hating myself to loving myself. And this is the third video in my self-love series, so if you haven't watched the other two videos, I will leave them down below in the description box. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Nat, and on this channel we talk all about healing, up-leveling, and living your best life. So if that aligns with you, please hit the subscribe button. I post videos every Tuesday and Thursday, so please hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next upload. And without further ado, let's get into it. So about 4 years ago, I found myself in a very unhealthy relationship. I was partying and doing irresponsible things with my life. I was very lost. I was in college at the time, and I was just constantly seeking happiness outside of myself. I kept on telling myself that once I graduate college, I'll be happy. Once I'm in a healthy relationship, I'll be happy. Once I'm this, I'll be happy. And once I had actually achieved all of those things, I still didn't feel that happiness. And that's when I realized that I was trying to create happiness outside of myself instead of actually looking within. So that was when I began to look inward. That's when I began to actually seek for happiness inside of myself instead of constantly seeking for it outside of me. And what I found was that the root of all of this was a deep lack of self-love that I had. I didn't respect myself. I didn't honor myself. I didn't truly love myself or cherish myself. And the way that this showed up for me was seeking validation from others, disordered eating, and settling for jobs that didn't fulfill me. So that's when I began my self-love and healing journey. For me, it started with healing my relationship with my body and with food because I was suffering from disordered eating at the time. So I found intuitive eating, and that's what really helped me begin to reconnect with my body, because with intuitive eating, you have to kind of check in with your body, see how your body is feeling during each meal, and begin to honor your needs, honor your hunger, honor your fullness cues. So that was really the first step in creating that stronger relationship with my body, because I basically had to become more mindful in order to be aware of the things that I was eating and how much I was eating and when I was eating and all of these things. And none of this was easy at all, because on top of all of it, I didn't really have support. For a very long time, I kind of struggled in silence. I didn't really tell people my struggles because when I did, I wasn't really met with the support that I needed at the time. So this is something that I would really advise, is that like, get support, get help from people, but make sure it's the right type of people. Make sure it's people that are improving themselves and are working on themselves, because those are the people that are going to support you and validate your experiences. If you try to seek support from somebody who is struggling and isn't doing anything about their circumstances, then they're not going to truly understand you or be there to support you. So a really big aspect of my self-love journey was healing the relationship that I had with myself, because I used to be really mean to myself. I would always repeat to myself, I hate myself. I was always putting myself down. Just anytime I looked in the mirror, I was just not nice to myself, picking myself apart, comparing myself to everybody. So I knew that this was something that I really needed to work on. So I began writing love letters to myself. I began speaking affirmations to myself in the mirror. I started with all of those little small things, and then I invested in a coach. And that first investment was really what changed so much for me, because up until that point, I was trying to do it alone, and I had healed a lot within myself by myself, but having that extra support was really what helped me reach my next level. And that's why I will always advocate for coaches, therapists, mentors, because when you work with somebody who has been where you are and is where you want to be, they really understand you and are able to support you along your journey. Another aspect of my self-love journey was walking away from situations and people that no longer served me. So I ended that relationship that I was in. I quit the job that was making me miserable. When you do the hard things and walk away from situations or people that don't serve you, you will be rewarded. Maybe not right away, most of the time not right away, because it is so hard to let go, but trust that everything will work out better than you could ever imagine when you put yourself first, when you choose yourself. It's so hard to let go and trust that there's better for you out there, but trust me, if you feel that deep down you deserve better, whether it's a job, a relationship, anything in your life, then you do deserve better. And when you walk away, when you take that chance on yourself, it will always be met with so much better than you could ever imagine. And that's exactly what happened to me. When I walked away from situations, from people that no longer served me, that was a commitment to myself. That was me putting myself first. And I was met with so much love and respect for myself. The relationship that I have with myself is so different than the relationship that I had with myself 4 years ago. I'm so loving and kind to myself. I'm gentle with myself. I speak loving words to myself. I honor and respect myself. I cherish myself. I honor my body and my needs. I have high boundaries and high standards. I'm not afraid to walk away from people who no longer serve me. And that was something that was so difficult for me years ago. It was so difficult. I was always finding myself being attracted to people who didn't treat me right because I didn't even treat myself right. How can you expect somebody to treat you right if you don't treat yourself lovingly? If you don't treat yourself right? And that was always something that I didn't understand. I'm like, why are all these people treating me this way? Why is it that I can't find somebody who loves me the way that I feel like I deserve to be loved? And it was because I was constantly putting the blame on them, on the outside world, when really I just needed to turn inward and find that love and create that love within myself, because that's where it all begins. And because of this strong relationship that I have with myself, I have attracted people who mirror this relationship. There's people in my life who love me, honor me, cherish me, hold space for me. And this is something that I wouldn't have even imagined for myself 4 years ago, that I'd be this happy with myself, this loving and kind to myself, especially the way that I treat my body. That was something I struggled with for so long, having an unhealthy relationship with my body and with food. So the fact that I'm even here right now, and I don't think about food 24/7, I don't think about my body 24/7, that is just so indicative of the work that I've done to get here. And I say all of this not to brag about my journey, not to brag about myself, but just for you to realize that it's possible for you, and just as a way to inspire you, because when you're in the depths of it, and when you have such an unhealthy relationship with yourself and you're mean to yourself, it's so difficult to believe that you could ever have a loving relationship with yourself. It's so difficult to believe that you could ever get out of that. But I'm just here to tell you that it is possible for you. And this is the reason why I'm even on YouTube to begin with, because when I was in the depths of it, in the darkest times, I needed somebody like me. I needed this voice to tell me that it was possible to get out of it. So I really hope that whoever is watching this, whoever is listening to this, I hope that this inspires you to build a strong and healthy relationship with yourself, to really cherish yourself and honor yourself, because you are so worth it. You are so deserving of it. And when you do this, everything in your life will change. I guarantee you that, because everything in my life changed when I began to work on myself, focus on myself, and heal this relationship with myself. And I also created a guided workbook that helps you heal this relationship with yourself. It's about 70 pages. It starts off with an ebook just talking about my journey and about the science behind why we may have unhealthy relationships with ourselves. And then it goes into journal prompts. It has you heal your past, make peace with your present, and create a new future. There's also healing techniques in the workbook. And then at the end of the workbook, there's affirmations, and there's also a 30-day self-love challenge to just really help you create change and actually build a strong and beautiful relationship with yourself. So if that sounds like something that you are interested in, you can find it in the description box below. My self-love journey is forever evolving. Every single day I learn how to love myself deeper, honor myself deeper, and it's not always easy. Sometimes I do want to seek external validation. Sometimes I do want to abandon myself, but I just have to remind myself that that's not really me. That's not my desires. That is coming from my wounding. That's coming from trauma. And so I sit with myself. I honor myself. I give myself the validation that I'm seeking for outside of me. And that is how you create a healthy relationship with yourself. When you're there for yourself, when all you want is to seek something outside of you, but instead you give it to yourself. That is how you begin to heal that relationship with yourself. And that is how you start to honor yourself, and you stop seeking for things that are unhealthy for you, and you stop settling for low quality people who don't treat you the way that you deserve. This journey is not about being perfect. It's about doing the best that you can with what you have. I really hope that this video inspired. I really hope that this video spoke to you, and I just really hope that you know how worthy you are of love and self-love and healing yourself, and that it's so possible for you to do this. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.